This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Coming to you from an undisclosed broadcast location. One voice, delivering truth and pain. Presented by Guns.com, trusted by millions of gun owners nationwide. This is Lock and Load with Bill Frady.
Hour number 2 from the Guns.com radio studio. This is Lock and Load. This portion of the show is brought to you by Aero Precision.
For over 25 years, Aero Precision has paved the way as a leading manufacturer of American-made AR parts. Aero Precision caters to the rifle builder by engineering quality receivers, handguards, and other essential parts. Aero Precision's added enhancements create a smooth build process from start to finish for beginners and seasoned builders. Whether this is your first rifle or your 50th, Aero Precision offers everything you need to make a quality AR at an affordable price.
Check them out at aeroprecisionusa.com. Well, you know, I am a 1911 kind of guy, and having this segment is always sort of a thrill to me just because of the guy that I get to talk to. We may not always talk 1911s, but we're talking gun stuff. And that is Joe Chambers from Chambers Custom. How are you tonight, sir?
Good. How are you?
Better than I was last night. So, did you get your gun ordered?
Yes, I got it mailed off today.
Joe's going to get he found a Henry's 4570. And it's coming to him. And then he's going to build it. And today I got my, they finally got to me. I don't want to put a big leather strap-on saddle kind of thing on the butt of the gun to carry extra rounds. So right. I've just taken I took some loop Velcro and caught it on fire on the back and stuck it on there so it's nice and adhesive now. And I got me some, I lit it, caught it on fire, and blew it out, pop it, got it on there. And I had somebody who specializes in making these things. He makes these little, hook Velcro cards that'll hold 6 rounds of 45-70. So now on the outside of the gun, I got 12 rounds, and on the inside of the gun, I could have 5 rounds. And it's still not, we're still not talking high capacity or anything else, but as far as a gun that I can carry into 50 states, I've got 2 spare cards to go with that. I could carry a little bit of stuff with this.
Right.
Plus, these, let's face it, the 45-70 is not the fastest thing in the world to load back. I could put a bunch of rounds. Well, I could put 20 rounds in my pocket. Well, I don't even know if I could put 20 rounds. Those are pretty big rounds. But that will be a gun that I carry with me on the magical mystery tour or whatever I find myself getting off into. What are you going to do to yours?
Oh, I got to put a rail on it, and then I'll put the saddle like you have on the front of yours, and I'm going to put a mod light on it and a red dot. Probably going to go, I don't know, I'm kind of torn. I like the Holo Sun, but I also like the Spark, the Vortex Spark, so one of those 2 will get put on there.
Well, the thing is, with this, you're going to have to put a rail on it to mount it, right?
Right.
So, after you put the rail on it, you're probably going to want a pistol optic.
No?
I
thought about that, and I talked to Fisher about it quite a bit. And if I was going to do a pistol optic, it would be the 509T.
Right.
Because it's a closed emitter.
Right.
But I think I'm going to go with the tube dot, like the Spark, because I'm going to use this thing in all sorts of weather, rain, snow, sleet, whatever I happen to be out in. And I don't want to have an issue with, getting packed full of snow or whatever. I can protect a pistol easier, under my coat or whatever, so it's not an issue for me. But on a rifle, I'm pretty tough on rifles.
Well, this one I think I think this will be one that you the Henry's seems pretty robust. The action is really a lot smoother. When I first started out on this, I went around to some places that actually had lever guns in stock, and I tried a few of them, and because I was thinking a bird in the hand's worth two in the bush, I couldn't find a Henry's in 4570. I couldn't find anything at 4570. Then I found the Henry's in 4570 down in the middle of the state, and I went down there and bought it there. And there is a distinct difference. The Henry's is built at least as good as any of them are built now. I know that there's a lot of people that, well, if you haven't had one of those Marlins that you can't find anymore, you don't know what you're talking about. Right. Well, I haven't, exactly. so I don't miss it. So
right. Yeah, that's what people forget is if you can't get it, it doesn't matter how good it is, right? I mean, come on, people. Let's be real. It's like buckshot. I needed some buckshot because I didn't have very much. And so I contacted a friend of mine in the industry because he had pallets of Privy double-aught buckshot for a really good price. And I called him up and I said, yeah, why don't you go ahead and send me 4 cases of that Privy buckshot? And he's like, all right, cool. So he sent it over. And I got a couple buddies that are like, oh, that's not flight control. I'm like, you know what? If I decide to use this double-aught buckshot at 10 or 15 yards, it ain't going to matter because I'm shooting it out of a Benelli, Super 90, and I'm going to put about 6 of them as fast as you can blink, and I won't care if it's flight control.
What is flight control? What is that?
It's a special buckshot designed by Federal. It has a specific kind of wad that supposedly keeps it tighter.
Gotcha.
And that's cool, but you can't find it right now. It's made of unobtainium, so it doesn't matter how good it is if you can't get it.
Now, in exchange for me helping Joe find him a 4570, he claims he can help me find some more 4570 ammo.
Oh, which
I believe him because he is a hunter, and hunters know other hunters, and all these. I mean, typically a caliber like 4570, that's not something that somebody goes and takes a rifle class with. It's, do you know anybody that shot 1,000 rounds of that? Well, probably Fisher has. I mean, he shot everything, but I don't even know
if he shot 1,000 rounds. Probably Dwayne Liptick at Magpul. He might have.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be kicking, except mine won't be because I have the Ranger Point Precision Comet muzzle device on it, and it will disperse the shot very nicely. And it'll feel, instead of like a 12 gauge, it'll feel like a 410.
Yeah, mine won't recoil because, I'm going to put a suppressor on it.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe, when you build guns like Joe does, he has all this stuff laying around like a suppressor for a 4570, which, hey, that's why I'm going to go visit him hopefully sometime in the coming year, because when he's not looking, I'm just going to look around at what's laying around that he might not notice. I don't know. We'll have to see. Probably cameras all over the place, so I'll be looking for those too. For those of you that are interested in Chambers Custom, first of all, you have to go to chamberscustom.com. You can find them on social media all over the place as well. On Facebook as Chambers Custom. On YouTube as Chambers Custom, where they need the subscribers. On Instagram as Chambers Custom. A lot of guns getting built. I see lots of pictures all the time of all these things that are being put together. We'll be right back. This is Lock and Load.
Aero Precision has paved the way as a leading manufacturer of American-made AR parts. Aero Precision caters to the rifle builder by engineering quality receivers, handguards, and other essential parts. Aero Precision's added enhancements create a smooth build process from start to finish for beginners and seasoned builders. Whether this is your first rifle or your 50th, Aero Precision offers everything you need to make a quality AR at an affordable price.
Like a piece of Americana, this is Nighthawk Custom. Completing Browning's vision of the 1911, Nighthawk Custom is not a mass production facility. Each custom touch is machined to an exacting standard, with the heart and soul of each craftsman that takes it through the process. Traditional or tactical, Nighthawk Custom delivers a weapon you can trust with your life. Custom to your specification or ready to ship with the reserve line. For their complete selection, go to nighthawkcustom.com. Nighthawk Custom. One gun, one gunsmith.
You don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big, bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the Tax Doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more.
800-507-3137. 800-507-3137. 800-507-3137. That's 800-507-3137.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com, danpilla.com.
Have you heard the warning from the dead doctors don't lie guy? I'm talking about Dr. Joel Wallach. He says if you have a 4-inch medical chart, if you take prescription drugs for high cholesterol or high blood pressure, arthritis, joint pains, or other health issues, the medical profession is failing you. They're using you for an ATM machine. That's what he says. He has a free lecture revealing what pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know. There's been groundbreaking research and discoveries on how to effectively treat or eliminate over 900 different diseases naturally. And it's all in his free lecture called Deadly Recipe. You want it free? Call him toll-free at 855-79-YOUNG. You ready? 855-79-YOUNG. Dr. Joel Wallach, the dead doctors don't lie guy, says there's no reason why we shouldn't live to be at least 100 and have a great time getting there.
Did you get a call or message that mentioned Social Security that made you feel threatened or scared? That is not the Social Security Administration. Social Security will not threaten you, press you for personal information, or demand instant payment. Social Security does not accept payments by gift card, prepaid debit card, internet currency, or by mailing cash. Criminals use these forms of payment because they are hard to trace. Don't fall for it. Hang up, ignore them. Report this criminal activity to oig.ssa.gov.
From the Guns.com radio studio, this is Lock and Load. This portion of the show is brought to you by Aero Precision.
For over 25 years, Aero Precision has paved the way as a leading manufacturer of American-made AR parts. Aero Precision caters to the rifle builder by engineering quality receivers, handguards, and other essential parts. Aero Precision's added enhancements create a smooth build process from start to finish for beginners and seasoned builders. Whether this is your first rifle or your 50th, Aero Precision offers everything you need to make a quality AR at an affordable price.
Check them out. at aeroprecisionusa.com. Talking to Joe Chambers from Chambers Custom, and, well, I saw this, and I want to ask you about this. What is the Ness gun?
Oh, so the Ness gun is the pistol we're building with Jared Reston this time. That's his Pro Series.
Okay.
And it is a 9mm 2019 wide body with carbon steel frame and cart barrel coned. It's commander length, and it has a full-length frame, dust cover to slide, and the slide and all the small parts are stainless. So it's a two-tone, a reverse two-tone.
Right. The slide, the top part of it, the upper? Well, no, that's not the slide. What? So I see the slide up top, and I see, is that the rail system that fits on top of the lower?
Yeah.
At the bottom of the screen? That's a really interesting looking piece.
Yeah, that's the 2019 frame itself.
Right. Okay. So I guess this will be a double stack again, a 9mm, and some other things. But it looks, I don't know. It's an intriguing looking. What I see is a pile of parts. For those of you that are not following Chambers Custom on Instagram, which all of you should be, I'm looking at a pile of parts, and it was put together by Eric, who Eric built the gun that my current in-home agent, Chambers Custom pistol, and I just found that interesting. But then beside it,
if you want to see a finished, go over to my Instagram page where you can see all the posts, all the pictures.
Right.
And scroll down, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 rows down. The middle picture is a two-tone gun with an acro on it. That's the Ness.
I've got my thoughts about the acro.
I know. I'm the same way.
Is it a good optic?
It's a great optic. It really is a great optic. It's just, it looks huge on the gun because it is.
Looks like a little bread box.
Yeah, it's like a mailbox sitting up there.
Yeah. Now, one thing I noticed, and I've been meaning to ask you this, with your guns, when you are setting them up and everything, like you zeroed my optic, is that something you do with all guns that have optics mounted on them?
Yes, sir.
Well, I guess you have to just to test them, don't you, just to make sure they're accurate and everything else?
Yeah, it drives the guys crazy because I refuse to shoot a gun that's not sighted in.
I do notice that this has front serrations on it, unlike because that looks like my gun with a two-tone setup, to be honest with you, and the fact that I have more of a traditional optic on it. Yeah,
the Nest has a long dust cover the frame goes all the way out to the end of the slide, so it's more of a boxy look than the C model, but yeah, it's similar.
Which the C model?
Like yours, the C model.
Right.
At WMGC. The Ness also has a tri-cut slide, partially tri-cut slide.
Okay. I like that configuration. I'm not gonna lie to you. The full-size guns, both of the guns that Joe's ever sent me to test, were full-size guns, and they shot beautifully. No. Yeah, they were. The Knight's Armament gun was not a full-size gun?
No, that's a Commander with a little short comp on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking it was a full-size gun?
I don't know. But you were gonna ask me about the Commander that we posted pictures of yesterday. The 45 Commander.
Well, that little one? The one right beside it?
Yeah.
we probably don't have time to talk about it. The thing that I was noticing about it, though, is that you skew both ways, which most people don't do that. Most of the time nowadays, from what I've been seeing in the quote-unquote custom gun market, the way you tell a custom gun from a non-custom gun is how much they've sculpted the slide. Lots of sculpting going on with the slide. In some cases, I've noticed that some people have done away with the grip safety altogether. You know what I'm referring to? So, but nowadays it's more like they're out there trying to sell a silhouette. You will do a little bit of that, but for the most part, you're sort of old school.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it more in the next segment, but I like, I like a very traditional gun, like that single stack Commander 45 in that picture. There's something to me beautiful about the simplicity of it.
Well, it is definitely, it's the cleanest simple gun I have ever seen. It's just I guess it's got a fiber optic front sight on it, and I can't tell what kind of rear sight it has on it from this angle, but
just a straight retro fixed rear sight with a U-notch. Very simple.
Got people on there in the comments going, hey, please make these soon.
Yeah.
Please make these soon.
That guy had a chance to be on the list, and he didn't get on the list. So.
Well, if man is considered to be the learning animal, let's hope that he learns the lesson and figures out that the early bird will get, indeed, with you, he gets the worm.
Mm-hmm.
But I found something out last night that I think you would find interesting, and I want to blow this past you, because simply because for you, see, that kind of gun does have a market. Absolutely, it's got a market for people that are looking for a carry gun. So I want to tell you something I heard last night. And for those of you interested in Chambers Custom, you can find out what's going on day to day. And you can almost figure out what Joe's thinking about by going to the Instagram account and following that. Chambers Custom Pistols. We'll be right back. This is Lock and Load.
Holster.com, the home of DeSantis quality-built American-made products for 45-plus years. Supporting police and government contracts from first responders to responsible citizens. Holster.com is your source for quality American-made leather and Kydex holsters for the armed American. For concealed carry or open carry, Holster.com has what you need. We didn't invent concealment. We perfected it. Go to Holster.com now and buy a DeSantis holster today.
What's in a name? If that name is Ace Firearms, you've just entered a very expansive business. First, a fully appointed gun shop with all the guns, ammo, and accessories you could possibly imagine. But then you enter the manufacturing facility that is home to Red Alligator Concealment, Militia Arms Customs, and so much more. Ace Firearms is beyond a simple gun shop. This is a totally peerless operation. To find out more, go to acefirearms.com. Ace Firearms. This is only the beginning.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
The Congressional Budget Office estimates the House Democrats' climate and social spending bill would add $3 trillion to the federal deficit. The report, requested by Republicans, was released on Friday. Inflation continues to rise in the United States. The Consumer Price Index rising 0.8% in November. Prices have climbed 6.8% in the last year. All that being said, President Biden, speaking at the Summit for Democracy on Friday, says he thinks inflation will be going down.
I think you'll see it change quicker, more rapidly than it will take than most people think. Every other aspect of the economy is racing ahead. It's doing incredibly well. We've never had this kind of growth in 60 years.
USA Radio News. The late Senate Majority Leader Bob Dole, who died this past weekend at the age of 98, is being remembered at the Washington National Cathedral. Dole was a decorated World War II veteran and was instrumental in the creation of a war memorial on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. Republican Senator from Iowa, Chuck Grassley, remembering his former colleague.
He was very much a person that came out of lower income families. He didn't forget where he came from, whether it was the plains of Kansas or his own family economic background. And he tried to help those people, farmers, low income people, people that were disabled. And then, of course, he was a war hero.
That audio courtesy of Fox News. A House report is calling drug prices unsustainable and unjustified. The report finding drug prices rising without regulation for decades and companies manipulating the system to delay competition from generics. USA Radio News.
Stop aging now. Restore those joints. Boost your strength. Because it's official. NutriMedical has released the most exciting, powerful anti-aging supplement on the market. Dr. Bill Deagle's Red Deer Velvet DR has been approved by the U.S. Patent Office. Imagine stem cell rejuvenation all in one capsule without huge expense. Dr. Bill MD discovered that as an unborn baby grows in the mother's womb, he or she does not deteriorate or physically age. Red Deer Velvet DR, like the uterus, provides 300 biomolecules and 6 hormones protected in one special DR capsule that delivers lipid packages directly into your circulation. This patented technology bypasses the stomach and is released into the small bowel unaltered by digestive enzymes and stomach acid. Remember, Red Deer Velvet DR. Improve endurance, stimulate your immune system, increase learning ability, and even improve sexual libido with Red Deer Velvet DR. Click NutriMedical.com, that's N-U-T-R-I medical.com, or call toll-free 888-212-8871 and get on the road to a newer, rejuvenated, happier you.
Guns.com radio studio. Wow, that sounded great. Excuse me. This is Lock and Load. This portion of the show is brought to you by Aero Precision.
For over 25 years, Aero Precision has paved the way as a leading manufacturer of American-made AR parts. Aero Precision caters to the rifle builder by engineering quality receivers, handguards, and other essential parts. Aero Precision's added enhancements create a smooth build process from start to finish for beginners and seasoned builders.
Whether this is your first rifle or your 50th,
Aero Precision offers everything you need to make a quality AR at an affordable price.
Check them out at AeroPrecisionUSA.com. Talking to Joe Chambers from Chambers Custom. And I was watching something, and I'm looking at that pistol. Now, how challenging would it be for you to make a smaller than the Fat WMGC double-stack pistol?
Fat WMG.
Well, you know, I have the WMGC, right? How challenging would it be to make one on the scale of that 45 you've got showing there in 9mm?
Oh, you just chop the grip off a little bit.
Yeah. See, I never knew this, and you may, I don't know. If you do, you can stop me somewhere in there. Do you know why Special Forces and some of these other units get out there and they go after guns like Glock 19s?
Because they're mass-produced, easily, readily available, and cheap?
I'm sure that has a little bit to do with it, but actually not so much. In the special operations world, because they're always out there doing real-world missions, while the Army has already adopted guns like the size of the two SIG P320s that they use.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these guys have missions where they have to conceal a weapon. So for those guys that are in those taskings, They have allowed them to go out there and test other guns, and they will allow them to go out there and purchase other guns, and it will be with DOD funds that they do it with. They'll buy X amount of them, and then that's when it gets into the mass-produced and all the other stuff. But the biggest thing about the Glock 19 was not so much the cost, mass production, or anything else, but the size.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, I know you're never going to get on that scale. I don't ever see you calling me one day going, "Hey, Bill, I've gone mass production." I don't ever think that's ever going to happen. But I could see where some people, because you got Pressman, you got you got Pressburg, and you got Jared, and you got Steve. I mean, these guys have ties in law enforcement and in the military, yeah?
Yep.
I could see where some people might get out there and want to go the full way and get something custom built, but I guess it would have to meet certain criteria in order for it to be something they could do, because, I mean, even back when I was in the Army, we could carry a personal sidearm. Back in the day. You did have to get permission. And it had to be
a personal sidearm.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
In Europe, I mean, when we made the transition over to M9s, right, which I was in Europe when that was happening, you could either have a personally owned, you had to get permission from your battalion commander to do it. But when they made the switch over, I had a Taurus PT-99. So they allowed me to put that in what is referred to as the ice pack. And that would, now I didn't carry that on field exercises or anything else. But in the event of combat breaking out, I could have carried that.
Well, that's pretty cool. I did not know that.
I'm almost certain that somebody's going to try to get up in this and say, that never happened, Frady. Well, unless you were in the 1st Armored Division between 84 and 87 in 154 Mechanized Infantry. If you were, I'd love to talk to you because we probably know each other. But
remind me when we talk privately next time to ask you if you know a friend of mine who was in Germany at that exact time frame in the tankers.
Was he in 22 Cav?
I'm not sure what he was in, but I know he was a tank driver from 84 to 87 in Germany.
Well, if he was in 22 Cav was this big unit that was across the way from us, and those were the guys that were basically, I mean, we didn't have any special forces or anything like that near us. We were all mechanized. We were the heavy metal, and the tankers, they were always rotating on the border. They were always on the border. I mean, you'd have a friend over. I had friends over there in 22 Cav, and we would lift weights together, and then they'd be like, "Hey, man, I'm getting deployed." I'll be like, "When am I going to see you again?" They'd be like, 60 days. They'd be gone for 2 months. And I knew a couple of them by name, but unless it was Sergeant Anthony Calloway, I don't remember him.
No, it was not. It was Sergeant John Knapp.
Next time you talk to him, ask him about the time that they were guiding the tank down the main thoroughfare and it ran over the vehicle, and see if he was there when that happened. What was the precursor to, huh?
He actually told me about that story. He told me that story.
We were all out there, and I mean, you used to do this thing called, you had to ground guide the armored vehicles. And that's because you didn't have rear view mirrors. You were always seated in some crazy position that made logistical sense within the vehicle to drive it, but it didn't make really good sense unless you were out there and it didn't matter what you ran over. And when we got to where it did matter what you ran over, well, then you had a ground guide. And one day, and this was, I think it was prior to them getting the M1s. I think they were still in the 60s, and or the M63 or whatever it was called back in those days. One of them ran over a German specs car, and the German specs cars were real glass and really thin sheet metal, and I mean, this thing was flattened, absolutely flattened. And we all went out there and looked at it. And, I was driving an M577, so my vehicle only weighed 13 tons. And it wasn't a tank. It didn't have ammunition or anything on it. So, when I was looking at that, First Sergeant just looked at me and said, "Don't worry, Frady, you wouldn't crush it that flat." It's like, oh. Well, thanks, First Sergeant. I feel great about that one. But, yeah, that was, I remember that well. I remember that really well. So I know about that. And ask him about the Chow Hall, because it was known as the dining center. I think it was Ray's Diner. Ask him if he knows about Ray's Diner. Then he'll be real. I'll tell you that much. He knows about Ray's Diner. I think that's what it was called. That was the best chow hall in the entirety of the U.S. Army.
Nice.
So, but that was the glory days. I look back at those, and I wish I was still that young man that was able to run around the way I was and not care. Ask him if he ever heard about the mailed foot march, too. Ask him if he ever heard about that lunatic practice. I'll tell you about that in the next segment. Then we'll get back to guns or something. But, yeah, that was quite the lunatic practice. But for those of you interested in getting into the Chambers Custom System, you need to. Everybody should have at least one, because then you will have reached the zenith of gun design and functionality and dependability. And you got to do that by going to chamberscustom.com. We'll be right back. This is Lock and Load.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
You've heard that supply lines are down or moving slow. And that most everything costs more these days. But good news. High-quality Sunny Bay products are in stock and ready to ship now because they're made in the USA. Like our extra-long neck heating pads. They provide soothing relief to painful sore necks and backs, are microwavable, and come in a variety of colors and patterns. What a great gift! An extra-long neck heating pad from Sunny Bay. Also available in lavender scented. Buy now in time for the holidays and avoid any shipping delays. Available on Amazon, Walmart, Etsy, and sunny-bay.com. Just search for Sunny Bay Heating Pad. They're great for men or women, are reusable and easy to clean. So this year, give the gift of pain relief. An extra long neck wrap from Sunny Bay. Remember, just search for Sunny Bay Heating Pads. Order now when our stock is high and shipping is fast. And happy holidays from Sunny Bay.
What if you could cut your heating bills this winter with your existing wood-burning fireplace and not spend thousands doing it? You can with Great Wall of Fire fireplace grates. Our U.S. patented made-in-America Wall of Fire grates increase fireplace efficiency, eliminate fireplace smoke problems, and come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. See our grates in action and get free shipping from walloffire.com or call 800-274-7364. Fireplace heat without fireplace smoke. walloffire.com.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. SilverLungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at SilverLungs.com. That's SilverLungs.com.
Tehibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea helps build the red corpuscles in the blood which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen.
So the tea is great for healthy people, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. A 1-pound package of tea is $34.95 plus shipping. To order, please visit shopsupertea.com. That's shop, S-H-O-P, super, SUPERTTEA.com. So the complete website is shopsupertea.com, or call us at 818-984-6100, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5 California time. That's shopsupertea.com at 818-984-6100.
Have you ever thought about turning your Glock, XD family, or 1911 handgun into a semi-automatic carbine? It only takes about 30 seconds. The MacTech Carbine Upper is classified as an accessory and can be delivered right to your doorstep with no FFL or background check required. It's the world's most versatile pistol accessory. Build your custom upper today. Simply go to handgunconversion.com. That's handgunconversion.com.
From the Guns.com radio studio, this is Lock and Load. This portion of the show is brought to you by Aero Precision.
For over 25 years, Aero Precision has paved the way as a leading manufacturer of American-made AR parts. Aero Precision caters to the rifle builder by engineering quality receivers, handguards, and other essential parts. Aero Precision's added enhancements create a smooth build process from start to finish for beginners and seasoned builders.
Whether this is your first rifle or your 50th,
Aero Precision offers everything you need to make a quality AR at an affordable price.
Check them out, AeroPrecisionUSA.com. And yes, I know the show is it's deteriorated into, hi, this is the Remembrance Show with me, former Sergeant of the Army, Frady William E. Promotable. I know that. But anyway, when you ask him about the Mailed Foot March, if he doesn't remember that, what that is, just ask him, say, you remember that unit across the road from me used to march back from Grafenwehr on foot? We had, and it was all to commemorate what turned out to be a absolute headlong retreat out of the Vosges Mountains from the Germans by our forebears. They were just running wide open to get away from those guys, and we had these beautiful armored personnel carriers that we could have just driven back. But no, we had to walk back. And, I mean, I don't know how. I have heard different distances. It was either 100 or 135 miles in 3 days.
Oh, my gosh.
And by the time we got done, I mean, I had moleskin up to my hip. I was a Motrin junkie. I mean, I would walk around and just be popping them 6 at a time because of the pain. Because they would run us, because we had to basically trot, right? Which back, when I was that age, that didn't matter. But about the time we got nice and good and warm, they'd be like, all right, let's take a break. Then we would, then our muscles would cool off and everything would get tight. And then we'd be like, I can't wait till I'm out of the Army and I see you on the street, you fool, which one of you called that break. So anyway. Yeah, ask him about that too, because Ray's Diner and the Mailed Foot March, if he remembers those, he's legit, at least for being in Bamberg in that time frame. In the first AD.
I'll have to ask him about that.
Yeah. Now, let's spend the last few minutes we got together on this part of it here, on the old handgun part of it. Now, when it comes to this single stack 45 I've got coming, whenever it gets here, I'm not worried about that part of it. What am I going to be? What can I expect out of this gun? Because I've got some fairly, for 45 ACP, I think it's rolling out at about 1,000 feet per second, which is sort of hot for it. It's 45 ACP is normally this slow flying around. I got it because a bunch of cops. You want to hear this story? So the local sheriff's department had ordered 100,000 rounds from a friend of mine, and they test fired it in a Glock 21 with a bad firing pin where it barely made a dent. The firing pin was so bad and so worn down, it barely made a dent on it at all. And they declared the entire lot of 100,000. They wanted them to be warrantied. So this is prior to the ammunition shortage. So they said, hey, okay, fine. We'll just send you some more. Well, what do you want me to do with this 100,000 they just sent me back? I'll just give it away. So I ended up getting like 4,000 rounds of that for free.
Nice.
So this will be sort of.
Ammo is always good ammo.
It's the best ammo. But when I have shot some of it out of some of the Dan Wesson pistols I've had. But it's been a minute since I've shot any 45 ACP, and I'm looking forward to shooting it out of yours. But now your guns are different because your guns are exquisitely tuned in. So what's going to be the biggest difference I'm going to see in the 45s that I've shot, which I've shot both mid-range, low-end, high-end, versus this one that's coming?
Well, we just had a client ransom rest test a gun that Kevin built, 45. He was curious to see if the WMGs really would hold the standard of 1.5 inch. So he ransom rest tested it at a friend's place at 50 yards, and he shot 10-shot groups in 1 inch at 50 yards. So I think you can expect exceptional accuracy. I think you can expect, it's going to be super smooth, but most importantly, it's going to be a very soft shooting gun because, that's kind of the nature of how we build these guns.
Is it going to be something I can carry on a daily basis?
Well, sure, if you want to.
Sure.
I mean, I would.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have any issues carrying a single stack 45. I do not want to carry a single stack 9mm.
Why
and
not?
I don't know why that is. I couldn't tell you what the reasoning for that is. Because even with the single stack, in a lot of cases on a full-size grip, you can get 10 rounds into it. But yeah. I just have this, I don't know, it's a little phobia in my head or something. So,
I mean, I carry my Yeti with 10+1. I don't have any phobia, but I'm carrying the G2 Gold Dots, and they are a very proven round.
Well, I have I don't know what I don't. Well, I have some. I think I have some critical. What is it? It's the Hornady critical something load.
Critical duty or critical defense?
Critical duty. Critical duty. I have some of those that I will probably carry in this thing, and I'm going to find a bunch of magazines. I guess I'll get a holster made for it to carry. And I might even, the problem would be finding the magazine carriers. It's hard for me to find single stack mag carriers nowadays for some stupid reason. Maybe because I don't look for them. That could be it. Yeah, anyway. Because I'm always thinking about building a little gun belt out of every gun I own. Don't ask me why, but I do. And I mean, to that end, I have done that with my fat WMGC, except I don't have mag carriers for it. Because the mag carrier I have came for, it's more designed for a polymer-sized double-stack 9mm versus the MPX or MBX magazine. MBX is just a little bit wider. Just a little bit wider.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've got the holster on everything else, and carrying that gun around on that rig is pretty easy peasy. Although, one thing I've decided not to do, I'm not going to go after one of those big Safariland rigs that has 5 different ways to retain the gun, because I'm never going to wear that outdoors unless I can pull it. I'm never going to wear it openly and carry it that way unless it's on. And if it's on, I'm not going to be sitting around there worried about retention, because if I start getting surrounded, I'm going to start, doing a little moving and shooting. Gun will be in hand. So, anyway. Enough of that ranting and raving and all that other stuff. I'm still a little wound up over last night. So excuse
last night, yeah. I'm still shaking that off. It's not so bad. It's going pretty good, and I'm not overly worried about it. But everything worked out the right way. Joe was supposed to be with me last night, but things didn't work out that way. I had something else come up that maybe we'll talk about it later after I get past the verbal vomits that I'm going through over it right now. Anyway, find Joe at chamberscustom.com. Find him at Chambers Custom on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. He needs the subscribers on YouTube. And, hey, thank you for taking the time, and I can't wait to see your gun when it gets there. Thank you for allowing me to come on again. I enjoyed it as usual.
Well, hey, it's your segment. I'm not allowing you. You got to show up, or else we have to send the hounds from hell after you. I'll talk to you.
All right, bye-bye.
Coming up next is going to be Dean Weingarten. This is Lock and Load.
Protect, hunt, compete. This is the mantra of CZ USA, delivered via a lineup of superlatives with handguns proven to function in both real-world and competitive settings. Rifles designed specifically for the mission, whether it is law enforcement or built for the plains of Africa. CZ USA has engineered peerless reliability into their superlative product line. Go to cz-usa.com and find out what serious shooters have known since 1991.
Operate. At Staccato, we know there's no such thing as a fair fight, and we bring the unfair advantage that is the 2011 platform.
Dominate.
At Staccato, we know the most important gun you own is the one that you're carrying when you're facing that threat to life and freedom.
Win.
We want you to enter that objective confident that you are carrying the best gun in the gunfight. No compromise. No sacrifice. Staccato2011.com. Stand ready to face down the darkness with 2011.
If you're concerned about the power grid and want to generate your own supply of off-grid electricity, this will be the most important message you'll hear this year. Here's why. We now have a small number of solar generators back in stock. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving backup power when you need it most. And unlike gas generators, solar generators run quietly, emit no dangerous fumes, and produce an endless supply of free electricity from the sun. Whether it's wildfires, dangerous weather, power grid issues, or just getting off the grid, you'll never have to suffer through painful power outages again. Even better, all this week, radio listeners get over $700 in free off-the-grid bonuses too. Go to mysolarbackup.com to learn more and check availability. That's mysolarbackup.com. Look for the free report, Crisis Cooling, how to make absolutely sure your meat, milk, and medicines stay safe and cool in any power outage. Yours free at mysolarbackup.com.